Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm CTMAN 1975. Today I thought I would do kind of a update to the um, my settings and button layout. Currently running full screen mode, and we're not really doing HDR because the streaming software doesn't, or I guess it's Twitch that really doesn't do HDR. So running 1080, 1920 by 1080, 60 FPS. Or 60 hertz, excuse me. VSync is turned on. Got FPS limit of 60. FPS limit in the background of 60 also. And we're running 400% scaling. Anti-aliasing SMAA high. We're not doing any tuning or sharpening. Got texture quality is high. So you can see how nice that looks on the signs. Normal map. Then we're running, I don't know, we could run 200% scaling, but I run 100%. I don't know, let's see. What's the difference? I guess 200% scaling would look nicer. Reflection detail, high. Mirror quality, high. Mirror resolution, I run medium because, I mean, it doesn't really need, you don't really need to see great detail behind you. And mirror distance, I run high. Because if you look at if you run if you run ultra, the only reason why I don't run ultra is because I'm streaming and gaming on the same computer. I'm running shadow quality medium. Far shadows got turned on. Interior shadows we have turned on. Screen space ambient occlusion got it on high. Because if you look at what stuff looks like without that, I'm gonna leave it on high. Then you got light visibility ranges is high. Traffic headlights, I have that turned on. Because if you see, look at the difference. Secondary vehicle lights. Also, if you don't have traffic headlights turned on, it doesn't look real. See, you got their headlights on, but there's no or plus if you don't have secondary lights turned on, like your brake lights, it doesn't look real either. Because when somebody has their foot on the brake in real life, you see the redness of their brake lights is reflected on your windshield and any other place that reflects off of. I have vegetation on medium, mostly because of stream. I don't want to overpower stuff. I want to keep my stuff at 60. Grass density, I don't worry too much about it because you're not really going to see it, but I have it set on high. Weather quality, I guess that is another thing that's a matter of opinion. Because, I mean, the one reason why we have it on medium is because if you a lot of times are driving and it's raining, it's dark enough out where you can't really see that too much. Okay, so, oops. Oh, we don't have any modifiers, so. What? Okay, so, well, our gas and brake, for some reason it says NA. Well, that's right, because we don't have any buttons assigned to it. That's with our controller, but not a controller, but our wheel. Some people do use controllers, but hey. Button 4 is on my mouse. That's for the electricity, so that when you turn your truck on, you know how when you first turn the key on your car, you turn the electric on, and then you keep turning and it starts the engine. Well, button 4 is like it's like turning your car to accessory. And then I have the middle mouse button on of course, on my mouse to start the truck. And then we use space is kind of the standard for parking brake in this game. I have W that would normally be set to throttle. I have that for my wipers. And I don't think I've ever seen a truck in a game with a rear wiper, so. And the left indicator, I have my left paddle on my shifter. And of course, the right one, I have the right paddle on my shifter. Light modes, I have that as square, excuse me, I have it as X. And then I have square as my high beams. And hazard is triangle. And horn on my, well, the light, I have my air horn. I don't have my regular horn. What do you call it? Yeah, I don't have it bound, let's put it that way. And then J, I don't use it really, but I have my beacons. Beacons are my triangle. And R2 is my air horn. And I have the differential lock. I have it set to V, but I have a hotkey that I use a Stream Deck Mini for. I don't use my drop down. I don't drop or lift the axle, so I don't worry about it. Cruise control, I have that set to it's L2 on my, actually, yeah, it is. It's L2 on my wheel. Just so everybody doesn't get confused, I'm using a G923 PlayStation Edition. I should have said that right at the beginning of the video, but okay, so we have cruise control, increase and decrease. I have it to the plus minus buttons on my wheel. And the cruise control resume, I have it set to the button in the middle of the dial. Oh, with the arrow on it. Shift to drive. Oh yeah, I have that set to my shift. Oop, set to my shifter. What would normally be third on your shifter, I have it shift to drive because I'm using an automatic. And then I have what would be fourth on your shifter is my reverse. And I have the arrow keys on the keyboard. Oh, and then they're bound to my button on my Stream Deck. Then home key, which is also part of the binding to my Stream Deck. Trailer, attach and detach, I have it set to the PS share button on my wheel. I don't really touch the engine brake too much, but I do have it bound sometimes. Actually, I do have it bound to my what would normally be considered B. I have it bound to a hotkey on my Stream Deck Mini. Automatic engine brake, I don't use it, but it is bound. I just have not worried about it. And I have my windows open right and open left and close on both of them. I have that set to my D-pad on my wheel, and I still use the dashboard display as I just leave it to the keyboard. And let's see, truck adjustments. I have F4 on my as a hotkey on my Stream Deck Mini. And let's see, I have also have my camera positions. The interior camera, I have it as a hotkey on my Stream Deck Mini. I don't, because I only use camera 1 and 2. I don't use any of the other camera views. And I don't rotate the camera. I don't really walk outside the truck at all. And I hardly ever use photo mode. Most of the time, if I take a picture, I usually take a screenshot. And to activate my things, I use enter, but I have it set to my um, Stream Deck Mini, or I have that on my Stream Deck Mini. Also, I have a whole bunch of hotkeys. Rather than pressing it on my keyboard, reaching up like you might. And let's see, overlay activation. Oh, I have the CB is R3 on my wheel. I don't have to worry about head tracking because I don't use it. Okay, game. Probably should have done this before I did the buttons, but we'll get to this now. Okay, I have fatigue simulation turned off. That's, I don't know. It's up to you whether you want to be stopping every so often to irrigate sleep. I have traffic offenses turned on because I know some people like to drive really fast. I like to drive the speed limit, so I have them turned on. Besides, after a while, you have so much money that you don't have anything to spend it on, so you spend it on tickets. Parking difficulty, I have it turned on skilled. Oh, I also have job length at 150%, because if you don't turn that up, you won't get very long jobs. And I have real automatic turned on and high power mode. My truck stability is at 35. Cabin suspension stiffness is at 47. Suspension stiffness, I have it 60. Probably could turn it down, but I don't. The drive shaft torque, I have it turned off, or pretty much. Braking intensity, I have it 80%. Air brake simulation, I don't have it even on. Realistic fuel consumption, I have it on. Uneven surface simulation, I have it 100%. I don't have cabin accessories turned on in this profile because you know how you have those things that you get as part of the challenges that SCS does when you get those things that you hang from the roof of your truck, how they wave around. I don't usually have that turned on for that reason because it's very, very distracting. And I don't have my speed limiter turned on at all, ever, because it doesn't need to be. And I don't have adaptive cruise control turned on. Basically, the reason why I don't have adaptive cruise control turned on is every time when I had it turned on, you would hear the Jake brake constantly, and it got to be really annoying. Smart cruise control, I have it set to a tolerance of 0. Grid step is 1 because that's the lowest you can set it at. And I have lane assist disabled because probably really annoying after a while. Blind spot sensor, I have it turned off. Rain sensor is turned on. Automatic headlights are off. Automatic high beams are off. Blinker turned off. Yes, automatic blinker turn off. Yes, because it would get rather annoying. Plus, a lot of vehicles have that thing where you turn the wheel so far and it clicks off. Automatic engine brake, I have that on. Automatic retarder, I have that turned on too. Hill assist, okay, I have it turned on. I didn't realize it did. Anti-lock braking, I have that on. It's probably one reason why I slide through a lot of stop signs. Anti-lock braking system, okay, traction control. Emergency braking system, I have it turned off because if you have that turned on, you'll feel like you're riding on your mower because you know how mower has a hydrostatic transmission where you take your foot off the gas and it immediately hits the brake. Well, that's the same thing with the emergency braking system. If you take your foot off the gas, it hits the brake and you come to a stop. If you want your jobs to take forever, go for it. Automatic drop left axle, I have that checked even though it probably doesn't, I don't worry about it too much really. And I don't use any of the advanced coupling, so I don't have to worry about getting out of the truck and attaching the cables that way. Steering camera rotation on reverse, normal, because if you have it set any other way, you're going to wish you didn't. Physical camera movement is there. Physical camera movement factor is 100, I guess. Locking is 100. I don't usually look at that, so. Auto camera centering, delay, disabled, okay. Camera movement speed, instant. Camera zoom mode, hold. I don't usually use that too much, so. Okay. Let's see, interface. I'll let you look at that. I mean, most of this stuff in this is a matter of opinion, just about every setting in your games are usually. You can have the 24-hour clock notation, but basically you'll have to figure out what time it is because it'll be basically in like military time, where midnight will be either 2400 hours or 0 hours, and 8 o'clock will be like 2000 hours. So, and unless you're from Europe or Canada, you'll have it in U.S. gallons instead of liters. But other than that, I think we're done with that because I mean, unless you're running Convoy, you probably won't be worried too much about chat. I mean, I do have enabled name tags and close chat input after sending a message. I don't usually send messages. I usually use the CB, so and fade chat completely. But that's gonna do it for that. I'm gonna say thank everybody for watching. Hope you hit that like and subscribe button. And I will see you out on the road if you want to join my convoys. The only thing that I need from you is for you to be my friend on Steam. And I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday on Twitch and YouTube. You can find me at CTMAN 1975 on both. And once again, thank you for watching. Have a good one, and happy trucking.